Hi, everyone. This is Bob Sorrentino from Italian Roots and Genealogy. Be sure to check us out, our YouTube channel, our newsletter, on our Facebook page, and our great sponsors, Phil Italy, Abiativa Casa, and Italy Rooting. And I have a great group of guys today. We're going to talk about a great festival coming up in Connecticut in September. So welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
I'm doing fine. A little windy and cold here today, but we're all right.
Where are you, Bob?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm in Bradley Beach, just south of Asbury Park. You know.
So how far from Tom's River are you?
I'm about a half hour north.
Excellent, Bob. Yeah, I'm in Tom's River, Bob, in Ocean County. You're in Monmouth.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. So we're neighbors. Very good. Excellent.
There's more Sicilians in Ocean County.
Well, you know, we have our great festival. I just joined an Italian club now at 72 years old. Don't ask me why I waited so long. But we have a great festival up here in Ocean Township every summer.
You have an amazing festival. I know several of your members in that club. It's a great, great club that runs that. Al Aloisi, a couple of great people.
Yeah, and you know they give so much money to scholarships for the kids, and we're in the process now of renovating our side of the building, so it's going to be cool. So before we talk about the festival, why don't you guys let's start with Michael. Go around the table and just introduce yourselves and where your family's from in Italy.
Hi, my name is Michael Castaldo. I am a country singer, the country of Italy. I'm a singer, songwriter, and a producer. I worked with another great artist from Connecticut, Jose Feliciano. And with the money I made from that and performing on commercials, I rebuilt the family villa in Calabria, Italy, where I was born and raised. First 3 years of my life before my family moved over to North America.
Wow, that's fantastic. So,
Toronto, Canada.
So just a quick.
I live in New York City now.
Where in Calabria? What town?
So the province is Reggio Calabria, and the town is Gioia Tauro.
Nice.
Which is a port town.
Yeah, my family, my roots to Calabria is from Montebello and Fossato. My third great grandfather was the Count of Montebello. So, pretty cool.
What province are those two towns that you mentioned?
I think it's Reggio Calabria. I'm pretty sure it's Reggio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I had talked to you about a project. I'm going to send you an email about a project that's going on.
Fabulous.
Next action, why don't you go?
I'm the Boston Guido. I'm authentic Boston. I'm a comedian up here. I specialize in Italian comedy shows. I'm known on Instagram for my crazy wigs and my funny style. My family is from Abruzzese. I'm Abruzzese. They're from Abruzzo, Provincia Chieti. I was raised by my grandparents and my great-grandparents from Italy. That's why the language is very, very familiar to me. My mother is Sicilian from the Messina region, but I was raised very, very Abruzzese. The food, the porchetta, the arastancini, things like that. So I am your definite, Abruzzese figure for sure.
Where are you now? Where do you live now?
I live in Boston, Mass. I'm from
Boston. Cool.
I'm a Boston guy, and I also live down in the Naples area in Florida, and I've been doing comedy shows down there. So I definitely have a good personality. I'm always fun, and I love to make everybody laugh. I think that's my medicine, to give you the medicine to laugh. You know what I mean?
Fantastic. Yeah, and you guys, if you ever want to do a solo interview on the podcast, just let me know. I mean, I'd love to have you on. We'll do some. I had a couple of comedians on. I had the Uncle Louie guys on, and I had them on. I had Marianne Maisano. I don't know if you know her from Jersey. Yeah, and a couple others. So yeah, I'd love to have you. John, how about you?
Bob, so John Crisafulli. I'm a banker for 30 years throughout New Jersey. And besides being a banker, I really deal with the dough. I am New Jersey's original and official pizza critic. Even people like Mr. Portnoy love to follow Johnny C. I've been doing it longer. I grew up in the restaurant business. My grandparents owned Italian restaurants in Long Island and Florida. So I literally grew up in it. I have a genetically inclined palate from Sicily. And my family comes from Taormina and Giardini Naxos. we're very Greek, so Greeks are going to be coming to the festival. And also my, how can I say this? My father is from New York, and I got to mention to Boston, we get a Sicilian pastry that's only from Messina called Bignolata Mezzanese. And what's beautiful about what we're doing is we're uniting all these little Italies. And you can only get this Sicilian pastry from Messina at a place in Lower East Manhattan in Michael's Island at Venero's. You can't find it anywhere else except another place in South Philadelphia. So people from Messina that came to America in different parts of the country, I bet with this festival, we're going to find where else we can find Bignolata Mezzanese, and it's not Strufoli. So I'm very excited to be part of this team. I have a lot of pride throughout New Jersey. We don't have a Little Italy left in New Jersey. North Newark is no more existent. I mean, we're spread out throughout the state, and we're strong throughout the state. And we're going to come strong representing New Jersey at the Italian Little Italy's Around the World Festival in Connecticut. And we do great pizza in New Jersey, and we're going to come prove it.
New York is, that's not the same anymore. Little Italy there. That's not.
Oh, the Bronx and Arthur Ave.
The Bronx still, yeah.
The North End is very strong. The North End is very strong in Boston.
I have a pizza dough in my refrigerator right now for later tonight.
I make house visits too.
Well, my recipe, believe it or not, comes from my uncle used to make it. There was a bakery in Corona, Leonard's, and my uncle he was a baker there in the 50s. And one of the owner's granddaughters posted that somebody said they can't get that pizza. It was the best pizza ever and everything. And I said, gee, I'd like to have the recipe. I remember it. And her cousin came in and said, no, you can't have it because it could only stay in the family. I promised my grandfather it only stays in the family. I said, my uncle used to make it, my Uncle Frank. And he said, who's your Uncle Frank? I said, Frank Nicoletti. He said, call me. You could have the recipe.
I'm writing this down because my father grew up in Corona. And
oh, really?
Yep, right near Corona King Ice. Yep.
Yeah. Well, my family was my grandmother lived on, was it 47th Avenue between 108th and 100th. If he ask him if he knows Frank's Luncheonette, that was my uncle's place. How old's your dad?
My father's 73. And
my age. Yeah.
He bakes bread and he bakes his own coffee beans. He's retired. He's an engineer by trade. And he's in North Jersey in Cedar Grove, Essex County.
I bet you. I worked at my uncle's place during the World's Fair, 64, 65. Your father probably came in there. I probably served him an egg cream or something like that.
What kind of syrup goes in an egg cream?
You bet.
You bet.
The only one.
That's the thing is egg creams. I don't think they got to Boston. Did they? Egg creams? Well, you guys probably called it
so. No, I don't think so.
Seltzer, milk, and syrup.
No, that doesn't. No, we don't really do that.
This is a beautiful thing that we're gonna learn from each other.
But that's what it is. Exactly. That's what's good. It's like different regions in Italy. Certain people do this. Certain people don't do that. And the same in America. You guys do
this little interview right now of introduction is a microcosm of Little Italy's around the world.
Right.
Absolutely.
How our shared experiences are coming together. I love it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were about 5 blocks away from the Lemon Ice King of Corona. We used to get the 5-gallon tub delivered.
Wow,
it's amazing.
All right, Marty. Last but not least.
So first, I got to say, I've seen some of Guido's videos with the wigs, and the one that he has on now is the best wig of all.
You know that for sure, man. And I have the same hat as you, by the way.
So
what about the glasses?
Who am I? I'm a nobody. I'm nothing compared to these guys and the rest of the committee members that we have as part of this festival. I'm just a guy who came up with this idea. That's all I am. I hosted a public access television show that broadcasted for 10 years. I could talk all about that, but my history, you want to know about the history, my family? My great-grandfather came from a town in Italy called Fano, Italy. Are you familiar where that is?
I've heard the name, but I don't know where it's from. I don't know where exactly it is.
Pesaro. So I don't know much about it. I don't know. I never met my great-grandfather, and my grandfather died when I was young, and then my father died when I was 17. So I don't know much, going back. I would love to find out, more about it. From what I did my own research. Fano is a nice town right on the beach, beautiful area. I mean, what area isn't beautiful in Italy, you know? My mother's side, not familiar where they're from, but my Nonni was a beautiful lady who loved to cook and sing in Italian. All my shows, I always start out with, her singing, and I miss my Nonni. And one of the things that inspired me to create this festival is time that I spent with my Nonni at the Worcester Street Avest in New Haven. Every year we had a big Italian festival, which is no longer there. And my Nonni used to bring me, and I used to, 7 years old, I want to get up and walk around. No, you're going to sit right here and listen to these singers, So it got drilled in my head, and, I want to recreate those memories. And it's great that everybody has the same vision for this festival as I do. Everybody's totally on board, a bunch of support from everybody, and we're all really excited about it.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a blast. So just so you guys know, my mom's family is from a small town in near Bari, Torito, in Puglia. They came over around 1915. My dad's family, and a couple of my parents were born here, but a couple of my mom's one brother and sister, the oldest ones, were born over there. And my dad's family, my grandfather was born in Pagani in Salerno, and my grandmother was born in Circola, Naples, right at the base of Vesuvius. And my mother's family, they were poor farmers from Torito, and my dad's mom comes from two noble families. One of them, Caracciolo, I could trace back to the first Caracciolo in 950, direct line, because it's all documented. So that was a lot of fun. And John, I worked for Chase for 42 years. I started with Chemical Bank, then went to Chase. So we have that in common too.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's very interesting, the history and how it just everything that we're learning. We were on a call. What state was it with, Marty, guys? Out in the Midwest, you would never think that there were Italians. Omaha, and the history of the rails and who built those rails. And
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, you would never think. Alabama, you would never think. And they need a voice. And not only that, but, when you go to the feast, you see they honor someone of nobility that gave back. And they're the, what do you call them? They're the Grand Marshal. Well, let's picture our festival with a procession with Grand Marshals from every state marching together. And not only that, the statues and the saints that are paraded. Imagine we're going to do a song, right, Michael? And Michael's going to sing it.
The saints go marching in.
And how beautiful is that? And we're going to give the parishes the ability to make a pilgrimage with their saints to Connecticut. And then we're going to put to the next state, which hopefully is going to be New Jersey. But we're going to toss a hat. But seriously, it's a beautiful thing. And even these days, as fundraisers, these parishes have the ability to reach out to businesses to help them with their pilgrimage and bringing that saint, and having businesses sponsor the church to make that pilgrimage with the saint. So there's a lot of opportunities to sponsor and support this great mission that's going to be continuing every year throughout the country.
Yeah. John, do you know Margaret Fontana?
I know the name. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I interviewed her, and we've become friends, but she is the executive director of the New Jersey Italian American Heritage Association. So
I'm very close to Bob DiBiasi, who's following.
Oh, okay. Yes, she mentioned it.
He's following us very closely, and I'm very close to Bob.
Yeah. We need to get that here in New Jersey for sure. No question about it. That would be super. So when is this the first year, or this been going on for a while?
This is the inaugural year. Yeah, it's the last weekend in September 2025. And we've been working collectively for the past several months in getting coordinated and organized and refining our theme and our mission, and trying to create synergies with all the various little Italies in the U.S. and hopefully Canada to come on board and be a part of this.
That's huge. That's huge. Are you bringing anybody over from Italy?
Yes.
Cool.
Marty, why don't you tell us about the artist and how special she is?
So, Bob, are you familiar with Ilaria Della Badia?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
So maybe somebody that she's been on tour with for the past 12 years. You ever heard of a singer called Andrea Bocelli?
Yes, I heard of him. Sure.
Yeah. So Ilaria is coming in from Rome for this event, and she's been on tour with Andrea Bocelli for the past 12 years. I met Ilaria at the Kansas City Italian Festival, which was phenomenal, and she is a phenomenal singer. So once people go to our website, we just went public with the website the other day, littleitaliesAroundTheWorld.com. You can see all the entertainers that are going to be there. And Ilaria, she's going to be our headliner for Saturday night, and she's coming in from Rome. Michael is not a country singer. Michael is a really good Italian singer. He's going to be one of our singers. Christopher Macchio, you heard of Christopher?
No, I don't know him either.
So Christopher, he's performed for Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you mean. I didn't know the name. Now I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's performed at, many rallies and, inaugurations for him. And he's really good. So when people go to our website, they're going to see the singers, and the name isn't going to ring a bell. But once you go and you see who they are, I mean, a lot of people know who they are, but there's some people who don't know who some of the singers are. So when you do your research, you're going to find out that we have the best of the best for our inaugural festival. And we wanted it that way. We want to have a festival of entertainers, a festival of food, a festival of culture from all over the country. And, I think we nailed that. You mentioned before about Uncle Louie. Uncle Louie is going to be there at this festival. Mike Marino, you're from New Jersey. You should know who Mike Marino is. He's going to be there.
I'm on tour with Mike Marino. I'm actually leaving for Florida. I'm doing 5 shows with Mike Marino. He was just on my show 20 days ago. Mike Marino's a very good comedian. Like Marty said, New Jersey guy.
Let's make Italian great again. Let's make America
great again. Mike Marino says, let's make America Italian again.
Yes, that's a fantastic saying, because that's kind of, and I know that's why you guys are doing this, but that's why I do what I do, because, I'm so afraid that we're losing our culture, the third, the fourth, the fifth generations now. I mean, one good sign is I know some kids now are starting to use the Italian names, the first names now, which is fantastic. But that's my biggest fear. We lose our culture.
You know what I want to say? That is so true. You're being so proud of, like, my parents divorced when I was younger, and my grandparents took me in, and my grandfather was fluent in Italian, but they were still working. And then so my great grandparents didn't speak English, and my great grandfather was a tailor, and he was actually Hitler's tailor. And my aunt wrote a book on it. I have an interesting story. He escaped from the Germans, and he hid in a pond, and he went to a farmhouse. And they raided the farmhouse, and they said, who is this guy? They said, this is my son. He's slow. That's why he don't speak no language. And that's how he came here. I mean, and so I remember growing up, listening to all the stories. They were so happy to have work, and that they were going to be, my family were carpenters and sheet metal and masons. You know what I mean? And me originally, I'm a laborer too, before a comedian and everything. And I listened to all these old stories, and it's like, and I hear everybody like, we don't know how good we have it, and these people suffered, and so it does hurt me. And when you say that to me, that we're losing our way, and I think this, big shout out to Marty who started this. I mean, this can be big for years to come. I mean, hopefully it will continue, So it hits me in the heart when someone says that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm actually working on a documentary with a couple of guys now that's going to talk about where we started, where we came from, how we were treated for 50, 60 years. We weren't treated very nicely, but we persevered, and yeah, we can't lose that. We need to make sure that the kids growing up, I mean, somehow we became lumped in with the WASPs, if you know what I mean. And we're not. We have our own culture, we have our own thing, and not only our own culture, we have several cultures, because every region has its own culture, right? Their own food, their own music, their own language.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. I mentioned it's the truth. My last name is Crisafulli. I go to a Greek diner. Greek diners in New Jersey, they say you're Greek. And the truth is, my grandparents, they're from Sicily, and they speak the dialect, but they would make a Greek pastry, we call it mustard, which is like a wine must with nuts and cardamom, and it comes from Mulsovere, which is a very old Greek. And so that's the beauty of our cultures. I mean, especially in Sicily, I want to mention too, the website that Marty mentioned, we just launched it. It's Little Italy's, that's no apostrophe, just ITALYS, Little Italy's aroundtheworld.com. And there you can learn about all the states that are already signed on. You can see pictures of Little Italy's that Marty was able to collect from everybody on the committee that submitted, as you see photos and history of Italian festivals throughout the country. It's a great website. There's the ability, again, we need support. We need sponsors to come on board. So there's information on there to be a sponsor, what it costs and what it comes with. And you can reach out to any of us. We're all available.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yes.
The Facebook, we just hit 4,100 followers in 3 months. Instagram is starting to pick up. And so, Michael, I just wanted to ask you, so the level 1 sponsors, what does every level 1 sponsor get?
Every level 1 sponsor, not only the sponsor, but the person who actually brings the sponsor to the table gets a 1-week stay at the villa that I rebuilt 20 plus years ago in Calabria. Some level sponsors can get even 2 weeks as well, too. It's all documented and written out and available on the website, littleitalies.aroundtheworld.com, where they can go in and see the level of sponsorship and what the prizes are and what do they get, added value for sponsoring the festival.
Bob, in all your time, have you ever heard of a festival giving away a trip to Italy?
No, I haven't. That's super. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes us unique. We got a lot of different levels of sponsorship. We got level 1, level 2, and all different stuffs for sponsors. And like Johnny said, no festival is going to be complete. You can't have a festival without the sponsors. So, to come on board for the inaugural festival is going to be something else. Going to have the T-shirts made up, and all the advertising is going to go all over the place. The reach is, what's the reach, Michael? Do you know off the top of your head?
The reach is going to be over a million eyeballs. That's for sure. Minimum.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
And Bob, to add on to what Marty said, what other festival have you heard of that doesn't charge the vendors to come and put on display their food? Our vendors are actually going to get paid, and they're going to be compensated, and their expenses are going to be covered, because we want to attract the best of the best to our festival.
I want to have pizza. I want to have pizza from Nebraska. I want to taste it.
Do you think it's good? Do you think the pizza from Nebraska is good?
They're not going to have the New York water.
No, that's a myth. It's a myth. Why don't they went from New York to Florida?
So I got to tell you, Omaha is going to be represented there. Let me see if I can remember all the states. So you got Omaha, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Denver, Philadelphia. Rhode Island is on the fence right now. Rhode Island might be coming on board. And
New York?
Hey, did I say New York?
No.
Right. So I think all total we have 8 states right now, and like I said, Rhode Island would be the 9th one. And it's great to see the different kinds of foods that we're going to have presented here, because like Johnny was saying before, when you think of Italians, you don't think of Omaha, but their Little Italy is really strong, and the strongest Little Italy that I know of is in Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri, the Hill.
Yes, right.
58 blocks of Little Italy. Where else can you see that?
I'm shocked when you told me that. I was shocked when you told me that because I thought the North End in Boston was the strongest. All the restaurant owners are still from Italy. You know what I mean? That's what I was hearing is that North End was the most strongest. And then when you told me that, I want to go out there. How many blocks you said?
88 blocks.
Yeah, they're living, and they're still living there.
You don't have California yet, right? Do you have California?
We don't have California.
I have a contact. I'll ask, because I know the president of the San Francisco Italian Athletic Club. They have like 1,000 members strong. I'll ask.
Amazing.
I'll ask him about that.
If anybody else is interested, you could go to the website and you can contact us through the website. But also just Little Italy's Around the World at gmail.com. You can send us an email, and we'll tell you whatever you need to know.
Marty, share Marty about the Fairgrounds, just so everyone knows this where we're going. I never been there.
North Haven, Connecticut, at the North Haven Fairgrounds. So when you think of Fairgrounds, this is huge. I mean, it's got ample parking. There's bathrooms on site. We're going to get additional bathrooms, but there's bathrooms there. There's we're going to have a big, beautiful stage. They have what do you call the seating? Stadium style.
Wow.
There. They have all kinds of events that go there. And, we just signed the contract last week with the Fairgrounds. So that's locked in. Our website launched. That's locked in. Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. Now the holidays are behind us. Now we're networking with people like yourself, Bob. And, we just want to get as many sponsors and vendors to be part of this as possible to make the inaugural year a very successful one so we can have another successful year and so on and so forth.
And I just wanted to add, too, we have, how many members do we have in this? 26? 20?
That is correct.
26 members of this board. So we're the executive board, members here. So a couple of them are not here, but we also have the rest of the board members that, are involved. They've been doing, helping us with the marketing, flyers, things like this. So we've had a lot of meetings. We've come together. We share a lot of emails, and it's good. It's a good thing. And I think everybody in our circle really believe in it, and I believe in it. And again, I give a big shout out to Marty. I mean, this is great, and this has never been done before, really.
So how did you guys meet? How did you guys come together?
So I have, like I said, I hosted the public access television show for 10 years. And I'm friends with all these guys on Facebook. Michael, I know personally. And, a lot of the Connecticut committee, I grew up in Connecticut. So Connecticut is a big chunk of our committee. I think we have 10 people from Connecticut as part of the committee. And I know them personally. I lived in Chicago, so I know Frankie. Some of the committee members I know, but for the most part, it's from social media, Facebook. And when I had the idea, again, if you go to the website, you can see the history page. And if you read the history page, that tells you, how it came to life here. So I had the idea because I went in so many different states. And then I just put the idea out there and started reaching out to people. I reached out to Guido and his buddy Steve. And then I reached out to Johnny and Michael. And Michael is the deputy chair. And he's such a huge asset to this whole thing. I mean, it was my idea, but it's the team that's making it happen. I mean, something of this caliber, you got to have a good team of people. And the rest of our committee, I mean, the woman, Sherry Kanger, she's heading up Omaha. She's involved in some type of organization out there. And then Phil Italia International, we got Severio, Nestico, Unico just came on board. So there's a lot of important, influential people that are involved in this thing that are going to take it to where it needs to be.
And if you want to go to Connecticut and experience it, so it's funny, I'm in a dinner meeting on Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, and I find out I'm sitting next to the mayor of East Haven, Connecticut, and I say to him, I'm part of this group that we're forming. This is last year, and I'm working with this guy Marty, and he knows Marty. And now we have, not only did he join he's on the committee, the board, he's getting involved. We have elected official that's very well known in Connecticut that's really helping us big time. Joe Kaffer. So. Amazing. Small world. But again, we're unifying each other right now. Like you said, we're building something that will be phenomenal.
It's a family. This is the family.
Yeah, I know.
Back, Bob, to Bob DiBiasi, and you mentioned who Bob works with. You know, Bob's working on speaking at different states for other states to have commissions, right? Italian heritage commissions. I think he's got a second state already. I said, Bob, we have a building in the Fairgrounds. There's an opportunity to hear from somebody like Bob DiBiasi and his executive team on what they're doing in the government levels to make commissions in states for our heritage. And we're going to have that breakout sessions, whatever you want to call it, in a building there where people can listen and learn from each other and really help our culture in government related ways.
Yeah, I'm going to their event at Rutgers on March 22nd. They're having a thing there, so
I'll be there.
So I was about to say, we actually have 3 buildings that are there on the fairgrounds. So, and I think we're going to utilize all 3 of them. Our contact for the fairgrounds is Richie, and he's an old friend of mine. So he's been in contact with the North Haven Fairgrounds, and I think he said 3 or 4 buildings actually. So we have plenty of.
Is that Rich De Palma?
Rich De Palma is one of our singers, one of our local singers.
Yeah, I interviewed Rich last year, within this last year. Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. Yeah,
I mean, the crowd really loves him. He really gets out there. A couple of the other local singers is Michael Ray, Jack Lynn. He does Dean Martin and Michael Negretti. We've got 4 local singers out of Connecticut. Yeah, and Rich De Palma is one of them. But the contact for the fairgrounds that our committee is, the committee member is Richie Ruggiero. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I think we have 2 people that are not Italian that are on the board, on the committee. So the rest of them are all Italian.
And it doesn't matter that they're not Italian. They're Italophiles, lovers of the Italian culture and heritage.
And who doesn't like Italian? Who doesn't like Italian food? Boston, isn't there a sandwich up there that you talked about that I never heard of that I'm hopefully going to eat at this festival? Isn't there it's a well-known sandwich coming out of Boston, and I remember you mentioning it. And I think
that was out of Kansas City. It was called the Muffaletto sandwich.
The Muffaletto sandwich.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
What is it again, Marty? What's the Muffaletto sandwich again?
Oh, it's Italian meat with chopped up olives and all kinds of seasoning in there. It's just phenomenal. But that's not going to be there, you know.
I don't even like the name of that sandwich.
When I first moved to New Jersey, my next door neighbor said, I know this great place for Italian hot dogs. I said, what's an Italian hot dog? Never heard of an Italian. No Italian hot dogs in New York, and no pork roll in New York.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing too is our circles. Like I have a page, Bob, if you probably are on or aware of it, called Jersey Roots. It's got over 170,000 members. I made a post on it today. It's got a public view count of over 2 million. You should use it and share it because that's the reach we're going to have. That's just with a page I have here in Jersey, you know, and the sponsors are going to get a lot of exposure. I break the rules. There's no self-promotion. There's no promotion, but we are promoting this event on Jersey Roots.
Well, I have almost 13,000 in my Facebook group, Italian Roots and Genealogy. So you guys join that. Feel free to, post whatever you want to post on there. You know,
And Bob, not only is our festival, of course, going to have music and comedy and, of course, food, but we also have a kids zone for the bambini, the buildings that Marty was talking about. Those are going to be exhibits, very knowledge-based, where we're sharing and going deeper into our roots, our heritage and culture, where there'll be speakers talking about various aspects of our culture. We'll have an auto show for the auto enthusiasts out there as well.
I was just going to say that, Michael. Dominic Onofrio, he does the car show for the Fall Festival in East Haven every year, East Haven, Connecticut. And he's putting a lot of time into this one. I think he mentioned 100 cars are going to be there. So, and it's really nice show. I've seen the show that he does for the Fall Festival, and it's just unbelievable. The cars that he gets, it takes you back to when, you old time. So it's going to be a great car show there as well.
Well, listen, guys, this has been super. Anything I could do, this will go on my blog for sure, and then my Facebook group and on my YouTube channel. So, keep me in keep in touch and let me know what's going on, and anything I could do to help, you count on me.
You got to come down. You got to come down in September, Bob, and come see.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to my club, and we'll see if maybe we get a bus or something like that to
Exactly.
bring a bunch of people up there.
Maybe have a nice podcast on the stage. You come down and have a podcast right on the stage. That'd be great. But
That's going to be tough to turn down. For sure.
We don't want to hear, I'm going to try. We want to hear, I'm there.
Right.
We'll set up a special tent just for you.